wasn't tripping when I lost my job. No reason to lie to my mom. Now I got 8, 9 to 5, y'all. I was like, right on. No work on weekends, eh? Waking up early, sleep at 8. I think I'm surely dreaming, eh? Just look at what Burns achieving, eh? 20 pro skater, I'm gonna grind. Not one opportunity I will decline. I show up early like people time. Jokes and truth, I jot in the rhyme. Chicano house to Omatu now. Do a song with y'all in his papa's house. 818 to San Diego. Become a legend in the valley like Danny Trejo. This what I had to do. This is Valley View. This what I had to do. This is Valley View. Let me sing it like
yes, everybody. And a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending when and where you're listening to Valley Views, y'all. I am your host, Hector, and it's just another great pleasure here to be with everybody here on the studio, right here live and untouched from the city of San Fernando, y'all. It is June 5th, everybody. It's a little past 10 o'clock in the morning. It's about 10:05 already, y'all. So rise and shine, everybody. Hopefully everyone's having a good and beautiful weekend and a lovely Sunday. I just want to give a big shout out to Marie over at the A1A pop-up shop. We were out there yesterday providing some of the entertainment for the Glow Market, and it was just such a beautiful event, having so many first of all, vendors and performing artists come together along with other community members. But really, it was really a community vibe. And it was just so beautiful to see so many folks from all over the San Fernando Valley come together in one place out there in Van Nuys and just rock with us from 5. We were there from 5 to 9 p.m. And big shout out to the crew that actually showed up as well from KROJ that was out there with us. We're talking about Jose the Panda, DJ Groover. We also had Jared and Angel, part of the crew as well there, just helping out with all the logistics, and then also Mini Snoopy, who performed but also helped us out, was part of the crew as well. And it was just such a great honor to be with all the different not just vendors but also the music artists, and we're talking about folks like Kearns, Fausto, we're talking about Marlon D, who came all the way from San Diego because he still has love for the 818. He's originally from Ventura, but anyway, Marlon D was there as well. Tommy Sue did a little hosting as well with me, and also performance as well. Love that energy that Tommy Sue brings, so big shout out to Tommy as well. And also we just had so many folks not only do that, but I want to give another big shout out to also Artistic Life, who showed up as well. They did a great performance as well, and it was just fun rocking and dancing with folks. We had a little dance competition and dance off. My feet are still hurting. I don't think I have the best dance moves, but let me tell you, I don't care. I get on that dance floor and I do my thing. And there were so many kids also there, and it was just a beautiful event. So once again, big shout out to Marie from the A1A pop-up shop as well, and for everybody that just kind of showed up. And it was just such a beautiful thing to see the community come together in this fashion and form, and really family friendly. And to all the sponsors as well that were rocking with us, we'll give them another shout out in just a bit. But I want to bring in right here our co-host of the day, because this is not just Valley Views today, y'all. This is Valley Views Meet the 818 Spotlight Series. So let's start with Dan Rochelle here. How are you? Good morning, Dan Rochelle.
Good morning, Mr. Hector. I'm doing really well. Excited for this Spotlight Series because I think the last time we were here was Claudia.
Yes, Claudia from CBD, your store, Northridge CBD. Yes, that's right. And it's great to be here with you again. I think we ran into a couple times a couple of community events as well prior to that. Yeah,
we keep on running into each other.
Yeah, like how does that happen, right?
Time.
Yeah, but it's beautiful, right? I mean, you are Meet the 818. Come on now, you know? So I got to see you everywhere I go in the 818. And Carlos, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I just woke up.
Oh, yes. Must be nice, you know, to just wake up and be here. You literally rolled out of bed, huh?
No. I ate. I got ready. What are you trying to say? I'm noticing like projecting right now.
No. It's just because I'm a little sleepy. That's all.
Interesting. No, but I'm good. I'm good.
And tell me, how does it feel? Carlos is pretty much done with his senior year of high school. He's been with us. Yay! He's been with us since pretty much like August or so, September of 2021 as our intern co-host, and he's done such a fabulous job. He has literally, I mean, I'm about to like tear up here, but you literally have just a couple more shows here with us before you embark on that new chapter over at UCSB. Come on now, about to be a gaucho over here, But how you feeling knowing like this is it? You got just pretty much 4 more days, though?
Dude. It feels fake.
Like,
I know it's coming up, and it's like I have a lot of friends being like, "Yo, you have like 4 days. You have like a set amount of days," and I'm like, "Damn!" Like,
has it hit you yet, or a little bit?
It's hit me to the point where I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. Everyone's saying like, "Hey, like,
the last
do you
of this.
think about it?
Yeah.
We're not gonna see each other." I'm like, I know. Like, it's just
you don't have to remind me.
Constant message. I'm like, dude, I know.
No, I hear you, but enjoy it. I mean, it's pretty much it's been I'm sure an interesting ride for you, high school, especially with the pandemic and all of that, of course. And but you're on to a new chapter. I'm super excited for you. Like, seriously, I'm just no doubt. Like, you're gonna kill it up there at UC Santa Barbara. You're gonna do some great stuff up there, and can't wait to have you come back and tell us like how's it going. You're always gonna be a co-host. In other words,
I'm so down for that.
Yeah, just to see how just to see what the things are happening up there. And just what you're doing up there, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Carlos is now thinking maybe even majoring in communications. Who knows? I see Carlos, eventually, doing
taking
stuff
over
in the media production and taking over. That's exactly what I want. Come on now, this old man can't be here forever. But
true.
But good stuff, Carlos, and it's just going to be a fun show today. So with that said, I think it's time. I think it's time to bring in our featured guest of the show today here on the Spotlight Series, presented here by Meet the 818 and Valley Views, and we are talking about none other than Erin Stone and Addy Gonzalez, who are the founders and directors of 1111 Projects. First of all, good morning, Erin and Addy. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes,
happy to be
thank
here.
you. Yes, I'm glad you guys were able to also roll out of bed. No,
Seriously, we literally rolled out of bed. We're not morning women. I haven't even had coffee yet.
Yeah.
So I'm
No, I got happy when she gave me the coffee. I was like, oh thank God. Yeah.
Ooh, as I sip my coffee over here, I better just be careful. Addy over here is going to be looking at it, and
we have our healthy water. We have our healthy water for now.
Well, that's good. That's good. But I wanted to really start off with first. One of the things we love to do here is just start with how is your mind, body, and spirit right here, right now, as we're getting ready for our show with you guys.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
That is such a nice way to start a show, isn't it? My mind, body, and spirit is feeling a little uncaffeinated.
Yes.
But otherwise, I feel really good.
Yeah.
I feel really good. I'm really happy to be here and had a nice weekend.
Yeah.
How about you?
My mind, body, and first of all, can I just say this is the first time I hear my voice and I like how it sounds.
Right.
So I don't know if it's something about your microphones or what it is, but okay. Right. So body wise,
I'll take that compliment.
So check. Right. Mind it's good. It's here, present.
Yay.
And spirit is just just excited and at peace, I guess.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love that. And it's always good to start that way. I mean, when you guys came in and just the energy here, it's like you guys, like I was saying earlier, very chill and calm and collected. I love it.
Thank you for saying that, because I take meds for anxiety. So maybe it's my meds kicking in. I don't know.
It's working. Whatever.
Under the table here.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's working. So keep doing it. But that's beautiful. That's beautiful as far as like the chill factor, But yeah, and but it's crazy though too, because and just that you mentioned that too, because sometimes with so much going on in the world, like anxiety seems to be all over the place, right? Like with
real,
folks,
right now for a lot of us.
And so and I think tying it back to what we're going to talk about here with the arts too. I feel like that is one way though too as well, right? That some folks sometimes deal with anxiety is through the arts. Arts is like very therapeutic, like expressing yourself. And I hang out with a lot of music artists and visual artists as well. And like it just puts me in a different element too. Like when I might be stressing over certain things, or your mind is racing, and then you get put in certain places or elements or spaces really, and it's just like it could really change your mood, if you will.
100%, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in the Valley, that's kind of like a wonderful transition, I guess, to just how like 11/11 started.
Yeah.
You know, like growing up in the Valley, there was very little happening out here. I mean, I'm 38. I was born in 1983.
Stop it. 38?
Yes.
Come on. More
Get
like,
outta here.
More like 28. You know? Come
If
on,
you
man.
look closely,
More like 28.
As you can tell, we're very
Right.
transparent. We're medicated middle-aged women.
You know, hey, embrace it.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
All the time.
Yes.
Yeah, but growing up in the Valley, you know, like it was tough. Like I had a difficult childhood. Like it was not, or teenage years, I would say.
Yeah.
And like having an art community around me, I feel like would have changed so much. Just having examples of
Yep.
creatives, having a community to be part of. And like I said, I mean, that's kind of why we started 11/11 in the first place, was to
Yeah.
help provide that, because it is such a, it's so impactful on your mental health and your physical health sometimes, your spirit, your mind,
Well,
body,
and
spirit.
we've noticed too that it definitely has a ripple effect.
Yes.
So whatever, even if it's a small thing that you're doing to bring you into, like you said, it is a therapeutic process for most creatives, but it's also kind of a release of thoughts and energy and kind of like all of these things that are always kind of brewing up inside. And it's
Yeah.
just like finding that creative channel that you can kind of outpour all of this energy into something creative. It's such a special thing to do, and we're huge advocates of just empowering people to do that as often as possible.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And I think the other thing is like with that is when you find folks too, like yourselves, and that's what I really want to get into too, is like when you find other folks that kind of are on the same wavelength, right? It just creates probably like even better energy for that creativity to come out, you know? And so tell us a little bit about how did y'all meet, because you know that will I'm sure will eventually lead to the 11/11 projects, you know.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. Did you guys meet like in an art class somewhere, or like what was that all about?
You want to take this one?
Sure.
Okay.
So we essentially met through family and music. You know, we had a bunch of mutual friends, and those mutual friends are musicians. And we found ourselves in a place where immediately Addy and I were drawn to each other. And I think creatively. I was taking photos at the time. I had just come back from doing a lot of traveling. And I had all of these images that I wanted to show. And I really didn't have a place to like, or even people to be like, hey, like, let's talk about art. Let's talk about photos. Let's talk, you know. And Addy was definitely kind of that person that I had met. And then jump to, I had some photos up at this show. Her husband was playing music at this show. It was in Hollywood. And we kind of looked around and we're like, oh my God, like all these people in Hollywood are from the Valley. Like this is all our
all Valley kids,
They were all
yeah.
Valley kids.
Yeah.
You know, like why are we all kind of in
Like going over
Hollywood?
there, right? Yeah.
You know, like when they're so what
I'm
year
sorry,
was
but why
this?
are we bringing all of our talents and resources
Exactly.
to?
to the city? Exactly.
Right.
They have plenty.
So my guess is this was probably 2008 at
Yeah.
this time when we met.
Yeah.
And so we were at this show and we're like looking around. We should throw a show in the Valley. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So it started with a fundraiser.
It
Take
started
from
with the
here.
fundraiser. We, at the time, I used to live in Chatsworth, and our roommates were so down. Like it was kind of like our college party house, you know.
All right.
So everybody was down. Everybody in that house is very creative, and we decided to throw a fundraiser, which was a circus-themed party fundraiser.
That sounds more like a fundraiser.
It was a fundraiser. It was so fun.
You know what I mean?
And we, I think that first event, I mean, and again, it was this thing that was very organic. There wasn't these like, I don't know, like huge dreams of like, we're going to become this. Like, no, it was just, we were trying to.
Let's just
Like
throw an art
genuinely,
show.
party.
Yeah.
Like let's host art
not?
with our
Yeah.
friends.
Like, why
you
not?
know?
Yeah.
And we had this fundraiser. I think we raised like $2,000.
Okay.
We overcharged all of our friends
Of course.
Pabst,
Yes.
Pabst Blue Ribbon,
blue ribbon, and
hot dogs.
Oh wow.
I mean, but we went all out. It was like there was costumes, there was a kissing
Okay.
booth, there was like all
Wow.
kinds kinds of that we had a
I hope
pool.
you were charging at
We
the
had a
kissing
pool.
booth.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Overcharging there for sure. You know?
$10 a
That's where we
kiss.
got our $2,000.
I know, right?
But yeah, then we took that money, rented a space with one of our original founders at the time, and that first show was so indicative of the incredible need for some type of gathering space for creatives, because I just remember very clearly that first art show we had. You know, we had about 30 artists.
I think it was a little more than that.
Maybe
but yeah.
more. And we were positive, for sure our parents are going to come, and maybe our siblings and the artists. And when we were at this show, I just remember we rented the upstairs of this bar in Studio City, and I remember the owner coming up to us and saying hey, you guys need to shut this down.
Oh, wow.
We can't.
You're at capacity.
You're at capacity,
Wow.
and I'm gonna have the fire
That's a
department.
good problem
It
to
was
have,
such
right?
a good problem.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're also
That's a
looking
flex, by the way. Okay, without a flex, you know.
Yeah,
feel
we're
like I
looking
know
at
your
2009.
Yeah, 2009,
But,
and
there wasn't anything else
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
There
True.
really wasn't
Yeah.
any other art shows. So people, I
Nice.
guess, heard about this and just were there.
yeah,
That's-
and so
that's
I
awesome.
think from there on, every year from about 2009 to about 2013, that was our cycle. We were having parties, fundraisers,
Nice.
coming up with money and then renting out spaces.
Yeah.
And we were doing a lot of pop-up shows throughout the valley. And then in 2013, we were this is growing and this is getting bigger, and we need to kind of not legitimize, but just organize and just do everything a little bit more professionally.
Yeah.
So that's when we got our 501c3, because we really looked at our mission as part of doing a public service to
Yeah.
our home, because our whole intention was to, the valley's our home, and we wanted to decorate our home and bring
that's a beautiful way of saying it too.
just making it
Yeah.
feel more of our own, rather
Yes.
than having other people prescribe notions of what the valley is.
Yep.
Yep,
We
yep.
wanted to define what the valley meant for us,
Yes,
and that's
yes.
really been kind of the the guiding north star of our mission. And of course the mission has had different iterations
Yeah,
of
it evolves, right?
and
Yep.
and at this point it's all about, for us, empowering creatives and giving them the tools. I mean, we have a history of 13 plus years now of doing
Yeah.
this, and so we're really looking at what the needs are of our community and how we can fill those needs, and really empowering artists to keep doing their thing and growing professionally.
Yeah.
And that's really what we are doing here. And,
Yeah.
and everything has evolved and changed, and we're adapting to the times and the challenges that have come with COVID and everything that we've been challenged by,
Yep.
including mental health and things that have affected us all individually and collectively. But the arts have always been kind of what we go back to and what restores our mind, our body, and our spirit.
Right. No, true that. You know what I mean? For reals. I mean, how does that make you guys feel? I mean, what Addy just said, especially about this is our home and we're just trying to decorate it. I mean, that just gives a whole different warmth to being part of a community, But yeah, what are your thoughts over here, Carlos or Dan Rochelle? Come on now.
We're trying to see who goes first.
Don't wrestle real quick, I mean, come on now.
Past President
I know
Carlos,
you're
go
the
for it.
host.
Oh no! I love it, because honestly, I think in 2009, I might have tried to get into that show and wasn't able to get into your show.
Oh,
Really? Because I
Dan
was
Rochelle.
no, I was actually I was working for the Studio City patch, so I was covering things in Studio City
Oh my gosh,
back
so
in
you've
the day.
known about it since
Shit.
then?
I didn't
Dan Rochelle,
make
that's
the connection until
amazing.
now.
Oh my God, I want to hug
is-
you right now.
This is probably why Dan Rochelle wanted to have you guys on the show, She wanted to
I want
hash
to
this
tell
out.
them right now.
She's like, what the hell?
No, but I didn't.
She
make
wanted
the connection.
closure. She wanted closure. No.
Let's
She
just
wanted
put
to
it
know
all
why-
on the table.
Yeah, right?
Why she didn't get into that show? What's
Right.
up,
No,
guys?
not that,
I'm
not
kidding.
at all. I mean, I've actually been to a couple of their events after that. One of the events that really struck me was the one on Brand Library in Glendale. I think it's in Glendale,
Yeah.
right? And it's Valley Girl Redefined. And that show was just so amazing. It featured women of all different backgrounds, different storylines, just a variety, and not just your typical, when you think Valley Girl, oh my God, but it showed how Valley girls can be nitty gritty and just passionate about their their creative side, and just that touched my heart. So
I'm so glad.
So good to I love hearing that feedback.
too.
We had such a that was such a fun and incredible show.
it was, and I took I think my daughter was like 4.
Well, and I feel like that show was kind of in the works for about 2 years before it came to reality. We had this idea of the stigma of the Valley Girl, and we were very lucky to be able to secure a space with Brand Library, and I mean, Erin did such an incredible job curating
Thanks, y'all.
Oh,
that
great.
show and like really encapsulating all of the different facets of what a modern real-time Valley Girl is.
Yeah.
You know, not just living with the stigma
Like
of
damn
the 80s.
Clueless, damn Clueless. You know, it's not all like Clueless, y'all. You know, or
Well,
E.T. or
even
E.T.
before that, Zappa, like Zappa's daughter
Zappa.
doing that Valley Girl song kind of like set the tone for the next couple of decades.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know, like
Yeah.
we were just ditzes with a credit card. We were just like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And I can do
I will
a Valley
take the credit
Girl.
card. I will
Yeah.
ditch the dits, but I will take the credit.
Wow, she's got it too. You know, she's got it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you took something away from that show. I mean, it just warms our hearts when people kind of walk away feeling seen or feeling heard by something we curate. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, actually, I think you had Alyssa Damaso, Valley Girl,
Yeah.
at that show, and that's how I found out about her,
Yeah.
which is funny because she's also a seasoned alumni.
Yes, yes.
And we were in like different
Alyssa's
circles, but in
awesome.
different places, so it was crazy.
Well, and we had the whole like kind of collaboration with her because of her brand Valley Girl.
Exactly.
And she was so inspiring too, and like we created that whole booth around like
The
her
Zine Fest, yeah.
yeah.
Well, and Elisa showed at one of our very first shows,
Oh,
too.
nice.
Like, she was
Nice.
kind of back in
One of the OGs.
2010
One of the
or
OGs right there
something,
showing
you
up,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So to see her then develop this brand, and like I was saying before, all of the things coming
Yeah.
out of the Valley and like all of the Valley pride that there is now
Oh my
is
God.
so
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
to
so
see.
cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, it is phenomenal to see like just that growth of the Valley, and just being out in different places or doing these events that we do. It's interesting. Like, I mean, even just yesterday, once again, big shout out to Marlon D from San Diego. But he came all the way from San Diego because he
That's
wanted to be
awesome,
out in the
yeah.
Valley. But it's one of these things though in general that, like, the more we see like events like and projects like yourselves and others come together here in the Valley, like you have folks kind of like on the other side of the hill now, instead of us going over the other side of the hill. It's like they're coming over here to this side,
Yes.
or folks from LA as well and things of that sort. So it's kind of nice to see the, like, I mean, I'm still calling it a little bit of a, like, there's this renaissance, if you will, here happening
Yes.
in the Valley when it comes to the creatives. Really, there's just so much happening on so many levels,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool. I know I keep saying that, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
so cool. Like, keep creating, Valley. Like, keep doing it. Be loud. Like,
Yes. Take
you
space.
know, take
Do
space.
it.
Yeah.
Right?
Tell
You're
your
here.
stories.
Yeah, 100%. And we need to hear from as many people as possible.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick musical break. And then when we come back, we want to talk to, I really want to talk to Erin and Addy a little bit about just some of the other projects that, y'all had in the works in the past,
Yeah.
but then also more importantly, some of the projects coming up.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. So, but before that, we're going to go ahead and play this one. And go do this right now, everybody. Go Run to Your Mama by Goat, everybody. And we'll be right back here on Valley Views.
Thank you for listening to Valley Views on Radio Olean 101.5 FM KROJ. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Valley Views SFV. For all of our past episodes, check out our SoundCloud podcast at soundcloud.com/Valley Views.
Yes, folks, we are back. We're back here, everybody. And again, we have a variety of songs here that we've been playing here, everybody. Okay, from Goat Liturgy to this one, King, Florence and the Machine. But tell us a little bit about, because we were actually just talking about
so
that.
happy you were able to play that.
tell us about your musical selection, because I know Addy over here is a metalhead. Now we know, you know.
Now we know.
She's all metal right here, you know. But tell us about that. Just
my musical selection. Sure. Well, Liturgy is a band from New York, and I feel like in so many ways they're redefining the genre of like black metal and death metal. I think they go by like what do they call them? Like transcendental black metal.
Oh wow! Okay, now we're getting into some next level metal here.
Yes,
you know.
And I just love, I love that record so much. Like it just, you asked for songs that pump us up. That's one of the songs that pumps me up. Like I will listen to that album a lot. And let's see. Well, I've been a huge fan of Florence and the Machine, and I really, really like her album. And that album, this album in particular, is
the
just
newest album is great.
And it just feels very personal in terms of what I'm going through right now personally. Yeah. And it just, I feel like that song King, the one that just played, is going to become a sort of anthem. Not just for me, but for a lot of women.
Right on,
so
right on.
The lyrics are beautiful, and just her voice is so powerful. So
yes. I was listening to it, prior to the show, just setting it up, and it's like that's the other beauty of like doing this is like we get like access really, and being able to engage with so much new music that I haven't heard, and then now I'm like, okay, all right, I want to dive a little deeper right here into some of this, yes. And what about yourself, Erin, as far as some of your musical selection, just in general,
Well, I kind of go like back and forth with what I'm consuming. Like sometimes I'm really heavy into music, other times I'm just like podcast, or audiobook or whatever. So I'm kind of a little all over the place too. I'm not into as hard of metal as she is.
Yeah. You're not like a geologist, like getting deep into that metal, huh?
Like once the screaming starts, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But the music,
Erin, you're no fun, Erin. That's the fun part.
The point is to scream.
Once the
mosh
screaming
pits, come on now.
I mean, look, I've had my time.
You're like, I'm just done with that right now.
I think the last time we did a mosh pit was when we went to see L7. That was so fun.
Now we're aging ourselves.
We are. Yeah, we definitely are.
No, so we have a lot of.
You guys probably went when you guys were 12. Calm down.
No, 35. We have a lot of crossover in our music taste. The selections that I brought today was Goat and Young Fathers. And what I'm really into is this like crossover of genres. Like the cross of genres, something that I've never heard before. So Goat is Swedish, and they're like an art rock experimental band that kind of has like a jam bandy feel, but they're all in these gnarly costumes and like
nice. I gotta see the videos.
It's like an art rock band.
Okay.
It's a whole experience.
It's a whole experience, right? And then Young Fathers, they're a Swedish band, started in like 2014, and there's just kind of this crossover. I think you'll play it towards the end of the show.
Yes, I will.
Like gospel and punk rock.
Okay.
Kind of post-punk, even some like 80s kind of Depeche Mode stuff. It's that cross of genres that I'm super into.
So stay tuned, y'all. That's coming up, Beautiful. And so let's get into this next segment, which was just really like, so tell us a little bit about leading up to this project that's happening soon. But prior to that, what have been some of your projects? I know that I've seen some on some of the, I think it's the traffic light boxes. I think that's the one. Actually, I did some coverage of some of them. I interviewed I think her name, trying to remember here who I interviewed. Fredita, big shout out to Fredita. She actually moved up to Oregon now for her grad program, but she was painting one of them out in Sylmar, so I went to go check that out and did an interview with her. And that was your project. But tell us a little bit about some of the like street art projects or other art projects that you guys have been on.
I think
organized.
Erin is suited to talk about Street Box, and then I can talk about
what's coming up next.
What's coming up next in our projects here in the Northeast San Fernando Valley.
Beautiful.
So we started Streetbox Art, streetboxart.com, y'all.
There
we
it
started
is. The website.
That's one of them.
Damn, they said one of them. All right, I love it. Yes.
Streetbox Art, I think in 2014, 2015, something like that. And we have helped paint over 200 utility boxes around LA County at this point.
Oh, wow.
What we love about it is just that we're hiring artists and we're hiring emerging artists to, with very little experience necessary to go paint in public. And that's the wonderful thing with the utility boxes.
Well, it's really mixed.
It is really mixed.
It's really mixed. I think we have the talent
is all over the place. But I think the way that we really look at it is as here's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for kind of smaller scale public art pieces.
It's that freedom to do whatever they want.
And some
we're
of the
not talking
artists
about a big old mural here, but you can get pretty creative on those boxes.
Oh, yeah, you can.
And when I see them all over the valley, of course. Sylmar, I've seen some over there by Northridge, and like all over the place. And it's just beautiful to see them all over the city.
Tight, So if you all if you're ever in a neighborhood that you start seeing those boxes, most of the time streetboxart.com is listed on there. Go to the website because we have all of the artists' backgrounds, their bios, description of their artwork. And that was another aspect. Like we saw these utility boxes coming up kind of all over the city, right? All over the country. Yet there was no way to figure out about the artists.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to provide that opportunity for the artists to have get their piece.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
Streetbox is awesome. We just finished Receda Rising Mural Festival, which was amazing.
So
please tell us about. I missed it, I just couldn't be there. But please tell us about it.
So
Receda Rising.
Oh, it was so much fun, you guys. And if any of the artists out there listening, we miss you. It was just so nice to have everybody together. So what we did was it was about a 2-week installation period, but it focused on 4 days, on a long weekend. And we had 8 murals go up around just in Reseda. Large scale murals, 1,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet.
These are big projects.
Yeah. Some of them are really big. And, one of the highlights, I think, for all of us was the Receda Theater. Because the Receda Theater is such an iconic building. It's kind of valley famous in its own way. And it's been sitting there empty and derelict since, 88 or something. So being able to kind of revitalize that in our own way with putting up a big community mural on that wall was really, really exciting. So here's another one, RecedaRisingMuralFest.com. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to really do this, but I also want to say that's perfect. We want you guys to check out the murals and read about the artists. And if you see yourself in Reseda, check out that website and take a look at the artist statements and everything.
It's really, really cool to see how these murals are inspiring different sectors of creativity. We've seen running tours, right? Or that are people
or
bike
rides
that are
the mural.
That could be one of the stops.
So that's been really cool to see.
The art rides.
Exactly.
.com or .org.
So Receda Rising Mural Fest was just so much fun. It was such a community vibe. All of the artists that came together were so wonderful and talented, and I think seeing everybody kind of paint together in a group like that, it was kind of magical. And one of the things that I want to bring up about that magic is how when artists are working together and especially next to each other, how they kind of push each other. And that's really beautiful to see. You see somebody so talented standing next to you. I mean, I feel this way with Addy. I gotta step it up. You gotta push each other to do our best. And so seeing that kind of come out in public art and murals was a really
it's
beautiful
that
thing.
Healthy competition where you're oh my God, you're bringing your A game. I gotta bring mine.
Right. Because end of the day, it's kind of like y'all still teammates on the same team, but pushing each other to rise, to the occasion.
Exactly. It's kind of like when we were kids and we do those relay races where you're only as fast as the slowest member on the team. That kind of mentality.
So this is kind of our thing too. We gotta bring everybody up. Everybody needs to come up and we push ourselves in a healthy way, to be the best that we can be and be be the best that the Valley can be. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of as I'm understanding more about 1111 projects is that it's like it's not just about you, Erin and Addy over here, but it's really like bringing the community together of artists and helping each other rise.
It's so funny because I think until now, like we have always been kind of like not very outwardly and like front facing with the organization. Like we've always wanted the work to speak for ourselves. But it's so funny. I'm again going to age myself, but like with this like momentum of like people want to know about you, right? They want to know what you're about, and I think that pushes kind of like okay, I'm gonna come out of my shell and just kind of like, okay, here I am. I like about all of this.
And let me tell you, Addy, you're definitely out of your shell here with us. We appreciate that.
I feel very comfortable. Thank you for making it such a cozy environment.
Just clean up that shell on the floor after you, okay? Like all the little pieces there, okay? Because it's all completely off now. That's beautiful,
Funny.
But and tell us then a little bit more about what's coming up as well, because we have, of course, the Summer Art Fest coming up in July. Tell us a little bit about that, or is there anything coming up before that?
We have. I do want to invite everybody. We are in the Northeast San Fernando Valley, and I do want to encourage people to go out and check out our last mural that we did. Was like our largest mural to date, and shout out to our councilwoman Monica Rodriguez for helping us make that happen, and to our lead artist Erica Friend and all of her crew that made this awesome mural happen. It's on the corner of Roxford and San Fernando.
Okay.
You can pass by.
It's a huge mural. You can't miss it. And just I'm a Sylmar resident, so that for me is a very personal, like, big achievement, and just kind of like so proud that I'm able to do this for my community.
Yeah.
And what we have coming up, it's really, really exciting. We have partnered with the Getty Museum, which is incredible, mind-blowing that we've gotten to this point. And we're bringing a Receda Arts and Music Festival in partnership with the Getty. So the Getty celebrating their 25th anniversary, and rather than creating a festival in their campus, they decided to bring art to communities, and so they're doing this through a series of 10 festivals.
Really cool.
Through LA County, and Receda was
one of the 10.
One of the 10.
So and I think we should mention, like, the Getty seems very they seem very understanding of the fact that there's like limited access to the Getty Museum.
Yes.
That like they're a Los Angeles institution, although maybe a lot of the Los Angeles residents have never been up to the Getty Center, because it is kind of a castle on top of the hill.
Even though it might be free, but you know what I mean. It's still like it's the
but a lot of
point.
it's like a shady free.
Right.
It's like you have to pay for free, but you have to pay for parking.
The coffee ain't free. Like,
no, exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Not that I wanted to remind you of coffee, Erin, but you know what I mean.
Thank you. No, but it's wonderful that they're aware of this, and that they realize that like celebrating within the Getty Center really isn't like with the communities, And so they've decided to come out and do these festivals.
Like, speaking of like what I talked about earlier, of like these ripple effects, like really like all of these smaller organizations like lifting up their voices, like you are getting noticed, okay? Like you are getting noticed, and this is part of the reason why it's so important for all of us collectively to get together, and like we make a louder voice by being together.
True. Absolutely.
And the Getty definitely took notes of this.
People are listening. People are listening to the Valley right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, people are not just listening right now, they're also applauding you. Come on now. Because come on, that deserves some of that, But no, that's beautiful to be part of that. And also not only like, to have the Getty come out here to our community in the Valley, but to have y'all kind of be the ones that are kind of like making it happen. How does that make you feel, like, in general? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's taking... I'm learning a lot from it, Like, I'm realizing that we were this kind of grassroots organization that started, raising $2,000 to throw a show, and looking at the growth that has happened since then is, like... I mean, it's pretty incredible, and I don't mean that from an egotistical.
Yeah,
place.
no,
It's
but
just
you gotta give yourself flowers because that is pretty
and
incredible.
then realizing your
sometimes,
progress too.
But not just the progress of 1111, but the progress of the valley,
valley.
like the progress of like the art and the creativity that's coming out in the valley. So like during this time, it's just so incredible to see this type of growth, you know. And it feels incredible to be able to share like our success in some way, you know, that if the Getty is coming to 1111 and saying, hey, partner with us, that then we can point at you and point at you and point at you.
And we're like, come
exactly.
to a party.
Party with us, you know? So that's really what we're trying to do is now kind of be like coming from this grassroots place. Now we have a little more administrative experience. Now we want to help. Like we want to help, you know, other creatives, other
It's like a different growth from when you guys started to where you are now, you know? And tell us like what's more or less give us a preview of the vision for that event happening again July 9th and 10th.
Yesterday. Well, the Getty's bringing really cool things. They have they're basically bringing a part of their collection to Receda, and they're going to be presenting them through like these large scale LED screens.
And featured on those screens
is going to be like
we'll have
local art.
2 local photographers that will have like an exhibit go up on that screen. Receda local.
But there's going to be a stage. There's going to be musical acts. There's
live music stages, tents, art market.
Nice.
Of course, like vendors, food, lots of workshops, lots of activities for families. Everything is art related, of course, and we're actually kind of going back to, you know, flashback to the beginning of the show. We're actually talking about this festival in the intersection of arts and mental health. So we really want like that to kind of be some of the messaging coming out of this festival, and offering some like healing and lovely activities that people can start this conversation.
Well, that's beautiful.
It's such a place that we're all in right now, like coming out of the pandemic and starting.
It really is about healing right now.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
It's important to highlight it.
Yeah. I think the overall theme encompassing the entire festival is that like the intersection of mental health and the arts, and how important it is to be able to have creative outlets. And the best thing about this festival is it is absolutely 100% free to every community member that comes out. We are also inviting a lot of shakers and makers of the San Fernando Valley, because we want them to be part of this, and some of local artists, and also we have some surprises with musical guests.
Surprises. So I was gonna say, you've now heard some of our musical choices, a family event with the Getty. 1111 is also kind of punk rock.
But we're not gonna bring liturgy.
No.
Okay, we're not.
Oh, come
not
on.
Yet.
I wanted to throw a chair and like a bunch of stuff. You know?
That is healing, by the way.
So it's still going to be really fun and innovative, and we've got some really cool acts, and you know, it'll be a good time.
I love it. So again, that's Receda Summer Art Festival, y'all, happening July 9th and 10th at Receda Park, and we're just about done with our show. We just wanted to really thank you, Dan Rochelle, as well, Carlos,
congratulations
Erin,
again. I feel like you barely talked.
No, you're fine.
We talked a lot.
That's the point that we want to hear from y'all.
That's the point. We gotta highlight you guys.
So I want to invite everybody to apply. We have a scholarship program, and it is an art camp. It's a weekend art camp. And it is primarily for students between the ages of 12 to 22 years old.
Okay.
BIPOC and low-income students are given priority. And all of the students are required to attend a virtual orientation. The applications are due July 1st, 2022. And all you have to do is go to 1111projects.art/artcamp. And you will find all of the information there.
And that's that particular one you were saying it's for the summer.
Yes.
All
So
right.
we have, it's a weekend art camp. So it's basically an intensive where
Nice.
students learn about world building, and it's such a beautiful way to think about how we are building our world and letting our imagination soar. And we've had such an amazing time with all of the students that come. And while in that class, it's usually Saturdays and Sundays from about 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. Lunch is provided for all students as well as
Okay.
materials. And usually if students are into this type of work and they want to find their creative outlet, we give them more resources.
Nice. So what you're telling me, not only I could go there, do some art, change the world for a better place, and get some free food
Yes,
out of it?
exactly.
Ooh, okay. All right.
And it's on the weekend.
And it's on the
It's on
weekend.
the weekends.
All right.
Sign me up, even though I'm not. I'm a little past 22.
Yeah, I think you're a little
No,
past.
it's about 21.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
just double that 22, and that's my age right there. All right?
It really
Yeah.
is such a wonderful program. If there are parents out there that are interested in getting
Yeah.
their kids into some really, really high quality art education, that, for kids that are like serious,
Yeah.
that are a little more serious about, moving forward with an art career or even a hobby. So definitely check that out on the website. And I have a couple more events to share with you guys.
Okay.
Come on
Yes.
now, Erin.
Okay. So we have the Brew Yard Art Festival is the first one coming up. That is hosted at the Brew Yard in Glendale.
Big shout out right there to Quick
big
and Sherman,
shout
everybody.
out.
Yes. Brew Yard.
They're doing like a summer art and summer art festival with beer and art, crafts, music, food, like specials, all of that. If y'all are interested in putting some dollar bills down
Okay,
on those
okay.
auction items.
Oh, so there'll be an auction as well?
Yes, the
Okay.
auction goes to Benefits
okay.
1111. So
Ooh, okay.
we're super happy.
And when is
to-
that happening?
That's happening on June 12th
June 12th.
Oh, next
from
week.
12 to 8 p.m.
12.
Yeah, next weekend.
So you're saying I could go there, have some brewskis, and help out 1111?
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
get some cool items.
Yeah,
And
and
get
get
cool
art.
items?
All right.
And look
Okay.
at some really awesome art.
Yes.
We'll
Okay.
be there. Come party with us. Come meet us if you
Yes.
haven't. We'd love to see your faces. And then we have on July 9th and 10th at Receda Park, we have the Getty 25 Summer Art Fest with 1111.
Yes.
Live music, food, art market, all kinds of art activities. So come on out.
Free.
And everything is free.
Free,
Free,
everybody.
free.
Get some Getty swag, y'all.
Yeah. Get some Getty swag for
Yes,
free.
Yes.
So come check us out and visit 1111projects.art for more information about upcoming projects.
All right.
And follow us on Instagram.
Beautiful. Hey, and one last thing, though, before we let you go here, and that is tell us about the actual name itself. 1111. Tell us the
yes.
meaning behind that.
So you usually take this one. I'll take this.
Yeah, take it.
So 1s and 11s in numerology are said to represent, like, they're said to be master numbers, kind of like unlocking a subconscious, an angel number, like you said earlier. So we really see that, like, these 1s and 11s for us kind of represent that heightened subconscious, and that's the same thing that art does.
Yeah.
We want to free our minds, we want to be creative, we want to be able to, we as in the collective we, all of us and 1111 projects, we want to be able to create the things that we dream of.
Yes.
So that's kind of what the 1111 represents to us. And as we were searching for the name, of course, guess what came up on the clock all the time?
I love it.
And like the radio
1111,
station,
yep.
the clock, the gas pump,
Signs.
everything's
There were
stopping at
signs
1111.
everywhere, huh?
So,
Yes.
and we've actually found over the years that there are so many people out there that have these connections to 1111 that it's actually become a very beautiful, like, connection
Yes.
point. That I think we had some radio interview, and then afterwards somebody in like Sweden contacted us and was
Okay.
like, my father felt, has this connection to 1111.
Wow.
So we're like hearing from people all over the world
Yeah.
that have this 1111 connection.
Really have
It's
a
really
Swedish
beautiful.
thing going on
Right,
this
you guys
weekend
really
with
do.
like your
Noticing a
music
pattern.
selection.
Yeah, from
and,
music
like,
to
Get
the
me
number.
over there.
Get
I
me
am
over there.
ready.
Right?
I have the
Exactly.
travel bug. That's
There
why.
it is. There it is. And I know Dan has a connection with 1111 as well. So, there's all kinds of connections
Right?
here.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because my daughter is 11/11 is her birthday.
That's so
Hold on,
cool.
11/11/11, not just 11/11.
Wow.
But her middle name is actually Angeline.
Oh.
So
there it is, like the angel almost right there too. Yeah, there's a lot of connections, you know.
Right.
But again, going back to that, I mean, yeah, it just goes to show like the power, I guess, of those numbers. But more importantly, also the power of that art and really of your efforts, you know, of Erin and Addy here from 1111 Projects to really uplift our communities through art, really, you know. And it's not just about the arts, but really like the healing process that goes with that and building community, you know. So we just want to really appreciate you for being here on the show once again. Just much success and much love to both of you.
Thank you so
Erin
much.
and
To
Addy.
you
so
too.
much. Yeah, to you too.
And-
Thank you for being here, for doing all that you
doing
do.
the work
Yes.
that you do.
And thank you, Dan Rochelle, for doing Meet the A18.
Aw.
It's such
Yay,
a cool
that's
thing
right.
to watch and to see everybody kind of
Aw.
just being highlighted. It's awesome you do that. Thank you.
No, thank you. It's for you guys. It's for the
it's
stories
all for you
that
guys.
you know you tell and the community that you guys build, and not just you, Hector, Carlos. I mean, it's a blast watching all of this just grow and evolve. And
Yep,
You know.
818. It's something
818,
else,
baby.
You know,
818 for life.
We grow
818
it
all day. Come on,
all
now.
day, every day.
30 seconds here for each one of you. Erin, let's start with you. Just leave us with some words of wisdom.
Oh, some words of wisdom. Okay. I know this is tough.
Yeah. 30 seconds.
I think remember everybody you meet. Make note. There's a reason why people came into your life. I think that's my biggest word of wisdom.
Beautiful. And what about yourself,
Oh my
Addy?
goodness. Words of wisdom. Check in with yourself. Be a little selfish. And
Here.
it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to, and it's okay to reach out and ask for help.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Once again, we've had here in the Spotlight series with Meet the 818, Dan Rochelle.
Thank you, Dan Rochelle,
Carlos.
for bringing
Yes.
us. Carlos,
of
thank
course.
you. Congratulations
But more
again.
importantly,
So
thank you
much.
to our featured guests here, Erin Stone and Addy Gonzalez, everybody, the founders and directors of 1111 Projects, y'all. And we'll see
Thank you, Hector.
once
Thank you,
again
everyone.
on the next show, y'all, which is this Thursday and then back on Sundays, y'all. Have a beautiful and blessed Sunday. Valley Views out, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Valley Views on Radio Ole 101.5 FM KROJ. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Valley Views SFV. For all of our past episodes, check out our SoundCloud podcast at soundcloud.com/Valley Views.
Fernando, shouts out to Valley Views, man. They played me on the station. I was like, let me make you a jingle. So this is my jingle I made for them. This is what I had to do. This is Valley Views. This is what I had to do. This is Valley Views. Got me singing like, eh, 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 eh. So what you want? Got me singing like, eh, 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 eh. So what you want? Got me singing like, eh.